being after 7 o'clock, we'll call the January 10th meeting to order, and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the minutes. Jack, did you read them by any chance?
I don't think they're ready yet.
They're not ready.
Oh, they're not ready?
No,
Then we'll just
sorry.
continue those to the next meeting. All right, get rid of the continuances. 242, 1639, request to continue till January 24th.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that's unanimous. Next one, 242, 1794, 335 Willow Street, request to continue till January 24th.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that's unanimous. The first one, 242, 1796, 490 Winter Street.
Alrighty, let's see, let me pull it up. All right, this was an after-the-fact order of conditions issued in November of 2020, and it governed construction of a closed-system landscape water feature, koi pond, and associated surrounding landscape. Also, in-kind repair of a stone retaining wall surrounding a raised landscape bed. Water feature was 74 feet from the BBW, and landscaping was about 65. All work was complete in the summer of 2021, and in compliance with the approved plan, wetland markers are installed on the chain link fence. Site is stable. As required by condition number 39, the as-built includes a notation that indicates additional wetlands may exist on the abutting property towards the rear, and therefore additional buffer zone may encumber the subject property. I recommend issuing a full and complete certificate of compliance with ongoing conditions as prescribed in the order.
Thank you. Jack, any questions?
No, I have no questions on this.
Al?
Also no
You
question.
sure? Brad?
No questions, looks like good work.
Motion?
I move that we issue the certificate of compliance for 242, 1796, 490 Winter Street.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that's unanimous, and one abstention.
Thanks, Lou.
You're all set, Jack.
Okay,
All right, thanks.
Thank
I'll
you.
Can I
take-
ask a question before I go?
Yeah.
If I wanted to put in an irrigation system in that backyard, would I need to come before you guys again?
I don't know where the,
It would depend upon where it would be configured.
It's gonna be in that grassy area between, really the open area that is over the
what's that?
leach field.
Small project?
This one? No, this is.
No, the irrigation system stuff.
Where's the leach?
Looks like between the 100 and the
Depends what he's
50.
putting in.
You know what, though? I think it would require a site visit from staff, a member of our staff to come out and see what you're talking about before we can give you an honest recommendation.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, thanks.
thanks.
Next one is 242, 1820, 227 Berry Street.
Alrighty. The order was issued in November of 2021. It governed demolition of an existing rear screened-in porch and stairs and reconstruction of a new sunroom and deck and stairs within the same footprint to be supported by 5 new footings. A portion of the wetland had been mowed as lawn, and that area received restoration plantings. The new sunroom and deck and stairs are constructed in the same footprint The site is stable, wetland markers are up, and let's see. The restoration plantings are doing well, and that area is regrowing. It's not being mowed anymore. So I recommend issuing a full and complete certificate with ongoing conditions as prescribed in the order.
Jack, any questions?
No, none.
Al?
No question.
Sean?
No, sir.
Brett? Motion?
I move that we issue a certificate of compliance for 242-1820, 227 Berry Street.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that's unanimous. Small project, number 318 Clark Street, National Grid.
Alrighty. So this is at the end of the Clark Street cul-de-sac, and the project consists of installing a new utility pole and installation of two 6-inch concrete encased underground conduits that will be installed within the public right-of-way. The two conduits will be installed from the new pole and dead end within an existing manhole approximately 55 feet from northeast of the cul-de-sac, within the cul-de-sac. Temporary excavation for the trench will be required. They're going to use a backhoe to a depth and width of 2 feet. Once the conduit is installed, the trench will be backfilled and the area repaved. Any additional soil or debris from the excavation will be removed from the site and disposed of accordingly. The project takes place within the outer reaches of the 200-foot riverfront area to the Merrimack River, which is north of the train tracks. And let's see, permanent impacts include about 3 square feet in the riverfront for the pole, and then just temporary impact for the excavation for the conduits. So I would recommend that you guys find that project to qualify as a Category L and approve the project with a pre-construction condition that we do a site visit to inspect erosion controls, and then post-construction to ensure compliance and approve removal of erosion controls. I'm not sure if anyone is here this evening. Oh, okay, great. So we have a representative here if you have questions for him.
Jack, any questions?
Other than the riverfront impacts, are there any other wetland impacts on this project?
No, it's just, whoops,
Yeah.
it's strictly riverfront.
So it's on the other side of that railroad siding from the
The-
Merrimack River?
Yes, and this blue line is the limit of the 200.
Okay.
And then I think there's like a, probably a bit of a elevation change between between Clark Street and the railroad tracks, so.
When's this project scheduled to occur? This winter, okay.
You can come up, just introduce yourself, so for the record.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. My name is Jim Bolduc. I'm from VHB, and I'm here on behalf of Massachusetts Electric Company for this project. So, as you can see by the description up there, Massachusetts Electric Company wants to put in a new pole within the riverfront area and put in two concrete encased conduits going to an existing manhole. They will be ripping up the pavement to put the conduit in and then resurfacing the pavement when they're complete.
Yeah.
It's pretty basic.
The reason I ask is I was wondering if we even need erosion control, but if you're going to do it in the winter, you probably should have some, so.
We just thought maybe some straw wattle on either side of
Just
the trench.
continue.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, no other questions?
Al?
I'm trying to orient myself here, Amy. I'm looking at the color photo,
Yep.
page 1 of 1. 5509 and 5508 are existing poles. They're across the tracks, those two existing poles.
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
And the pole that you're putting in is on the other side of the tracks?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So the digging, the excavation you're planning to do is at 5508 and 5509, and how are you gonna get the
No.
cable under the tracks?
No, no.
Am I-
It's just the purple. That's
It's
all
the,
that changes.
it's,
So
Where am I
so
looking?
the yellow pole shown on the plan is
Yeah.
the new pole, is the
Okay.
proposed pole.
Okay,
And then from the proposed pole, you'll see the purple lines going to the manhole number 1. And that's pretty much the extent of the project.
okay. All right, I'm all set.
Sean?
No questions?
Fred? Motion?
I move that we grant this as a subcategory L of the small project bylaw, and we initiate the recommendations of our, no, I should say, the conditions of our administrator.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that's unanimous. All set.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Amy, I'll
you.
contact you when the construction begins, so we can go out there and look at the
absolutely, yeah, yep.
Okay, great. Thank you.
definitely. Okay, thanks.
Next one is NACC number 319, 333 Waverly Road.
Alrighty. So this project involves installing geolock wall anchors to support the existing section of foundation wall at the front of the house, and installing interior perimeter footing drains to connect to a sump pump. Ground disturbance involves the installation of a 10-foot section of drain pipe and terminal discharge yard drain grate at the rear of the house, as well as installation of the geolock wall anchors at the front of the house. At its closest point, the yard grate will be 47 feet from the bank of an intermittent stream, and the closest point that the front foundation anchor work will be 83 feet from the stream. The work in the front will be between the driveway and the front of the house, which is a grassy area, and I don't really see a need for erosion controls at the front, because the house is really going to be the erosion control itself. And then for the conduit at the back, I would just recommend some straw wattle around to just envelop that area. I believe we have a representative here this evening for the project, if you have questions for her.
Any questions here?
Yeah, the geolock anchors, are they in the front of the house or the back?
The front.
In the front of the house?
Yeah.
Okay, so the back of the house has,
The back of the house is going to get the drain pipe from the perimeter. It's like a French drain, right? Inside the,
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
The
it's
basement.
just like a circular terminal grate, bubbler pot,
right.
basically.
could you state your name? And
Cassidy Santiago, I'm representing Erickson Foundation Solutions.
Okay, thanks. Is there a sump pump involved with this?
Yes, there is. Let me just check the product list real quick. The bubbler pot's for the ice guard, the 10-foot EDL from the ice guard. So the bubbler pot will be at the end of that.
I'm sorry, you lost me. What's the EDL? What is an E EDL?
The discharge line coming out of the
Okay.
foundation, that'll be 10 feet out, and then end with that bubbler pot.
Is there a sump pump existing now, or is that going to be installed?
So there is not one on this contract, and I'm actually not sure if they have one there already or not.
Looks like there's not one proposed. There is one on the other one that you're representing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you're not proposing a sump pump, so apparently this drainage system drains by gravity out to the yard grate.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm just trying to understand how it works. It flows by gravity out to the yard grate, and then it just overflows
Yeah.
into the yard?
Yes.
Pretty simple. And then the yard grade is 47 feet from the closest wetland?
Yep,
Yep.
which is bank of intermittent stream.
Yep. I'm all set.
On page 2, the job details.
Yeah,
Job details call for, am I reading it correctly? It calls for the installation of a 1/2 horsepower cast iron AC powered backup pump. Triple safe pump system with a twin liner, 1/3 horsepower cast iron primary pump, and a 1/2 horse secondary pump, and an ultra sump battery pack pumping system with charging control box with alarm.
Yes, I'm sorry, if you see also on page 9, that is the triple safe, so it's just not labeled as a sump,
But
but it is.
it's,
So it's on both projects, this one and the next one. If you see the product list on page 9.
I don't think I have page 9,
I don't
but
have page 9.
I don't think I have
oh,
page 9.
I'll pull it up.
The
But
actual
I can-
discharge line itself is because of the water guard. But that's gonna feed water as well. We are installing the sump in the basement
So
too.
this is, you have two AC powered pumps going in place, right?
Yes.
So it's not a gravity system, it's,
No, it isn't, yeah.
it's a sump pump with two pumps.
Yes, and the water guard can be a gravity system on its own
But
as well.
that's not what's
Yeah,
proposed.
right. This is paired with the sump, yes. I thought this was just pertaining to that discharge line. That's,
Right.
yeah.
Well, the reason I'm bringing it up is because of at what point does the discharge water, where does it daylight? And will it, if it's being pushed out by a 1/2 horse pump, is it gonna stay within?
Well, the pipe will be 10 feet from the foundation corner,
Yeah,
and then you'll have that yard grate that it will come out of.
Is this the yard grate?
That's an example, yep.
so there's a disclaimer on this. It says installed buried drainage sump pump, buried exterior drain line of up to 10 feet included. The location of the discharge termination is based on the customer's knowledge of the property, along with the visible inspection of the design specialist. Contractor is not responsible for the volume of water discharge from the drainage system or surface water issues on the property related to that discharge. I don't get a warm, fuzzy feeling from this.
Yeah.
If we're getting a disclaimer on an application, what that's telling me is they really don't know how much water's coming out or
Yeah.
where it's going.
Right.
I think, and I stand corrected if I'm wrong, but I think it would be prudent to have more specific information as to where the water's coming out, where it's going.
Yep.
Is it gonna stay on property, is it going on the neighbors? Because with this disclaimer, they're saying we don't really know where it's gonna go.
Yeah, for how much?
And how much water?
And we don't know the volume. And we're not responsible. I think we need more information.
Okay.
I'm not even sure this is a small project.
Okay.
That's all I have right now, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know how elaborate this system was. I think it's a bit of overkill based on the slope in the backyard. I mean, it really drops off back there, doesn't it?
Yes, this is more, I think, a little ways before that point, where it's only 10 feet from the foundation wall, that bubbler pot is more in their yard.
Oh,
Yeah, they don't have to fall in their own yard.
what's that?
They don't have to fall in their own yard to get a basement drain in there. It's only a
Right.
few feet.
Because I could, 10 feet is not a big deal. I mean, it's just, but then it must drop off. I mean, right, two houses was where they had that giant collapse, right, where the water goes. So, I mean, it does go down that, it goes down to 114, that well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm more concerned about us permitting a project that might impact on a butter,
Right,
where the contractor is saying, I'm not responsible for it.
right.
Yeah,
I'm just a little, I guess I'm concerned for the abutters. I think we need much more specific information.
Yeah, to be truthful, I don't think, from what I'm seeing, I didn't know this was this elaborate. I would consider this an RDA. Because we can condition some of the stuff, we don't know where they should have some volume calculations, or they wouldn't know how to design the project, what they got.
Right.
Well, it's a system. I mean, they have a system that they name it the triple safe pump system. So they have a system that they're selling, which I don't object to. I just want to know where it's going. Is it going to daylight on the property and stay there, or is it going to go to the neighbors? Is it going to go in a resource area?
Well, who decides what size it's supposed to be? They're going to base it on something.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't
know
either.
that answer.
That's why I don't think it's a small project.
Yeah.
That's why they need to tell
There must be some type of water calculations that they figured what they needed to sell to those people.
So I guess the only way you could do that is if you had a gallon per minute flow rate that you could calculate. And I don't know if they have a gallon per minute flow rate.
They can based on the head and the pump that they're using.
Right.
Sean, any questions?
I don't, either there's not enough information for this, in my opinion, for it to be a small project, or it's not a small project.
Right. Brad?
I don't share the concerns that it's gonna go into a neighbor's property based on the topo, if that's correct, but I would like to see some more energy dissipation, so we're not gonna erode around this outlet. Is that something that you'll typically do? Is this
I
just
mean,
little gravel thing, is that all you'll ever do, or
We
is there some
could
options?
do a riprap apron as well around that bubbler pot.
I wouldn't mind seeing one downstream of that, just to get some energy dissipation before we get to the well. So we're on
See,
the road right
The
there.
problem is that we don't usually condition small projects. An RDA, we usually, usually do up to like 3 conditions. So now we have a project in front of us that we have no information as far as the wall, the discharge flow. So, I don't know, I don't see how this can be approved as a small project.
I would be in favor of an RDA for this.
All right,
With a lot more information.
we need
And
more
calendars.
information. Like I said, they're telling them they need this pump system based on what data?
Guessing
A
the
wet-
basement's flooding?
I mean,
wet-
yeah,
a
we
wet
get a
basement.
call with all the rain, there's water in our basement.
Yeah.
We go pump it out and we install our waterproofing system, so we don't know exactly. And that's why, I mean, if we see some ridiculous amount of rain, and I mean, their whole basement floods in and it's something crazy like that, I think that's where you kind of get into those details in the contract. But we do have a 24/7 service department, waterproofing department, emergency line, for when those things do happen with our customers. So.
And you're gonna have a maximum flow rate through that pipe with both pumps running. And you can size a riprap apron to
Right.
handle that flow.
Mhm.
I think that's all I'd really need to see for this one, is just trying to keep their basement dry.
Well, yeah, I had asked for a spec.
I'm in favor of.
Yeah,
dry
I'm
basements.
sorry, I do
Yeah.
have those. I just didn't know if you needed them before or when I came up here. So
yeah.
I do have specs for both projects for,
A,
yes, for the
Dissipator?
apron and,
okay,
yeah.
that would help.
Yeah.
If you guys want to look at that. I asked for a specification for any kind of dissipator,
Okay, good.
and so we can look at that, I guess. 'cause she
Okay.
brought it.
Yeah, it looks like it's, I'm sorry, it looks like it has some positive features. It looks like it discharges to a lawn with plenty of room to run across and percolate into the ground. 47 feet from the wetland, so it's got plenty of room for treatment. I think the question is how do we make that a stable treatment system so that it doesn't erode and cause a stream and cause more
Right.
problems?
I think the discharge should be discharged into a dry well. I'll dig a hole, fill it with stone, put discharge in there, and then it'll leach itself gradually. Instead of just having a pipe and just dump it into the,
That's the more traditional way to do it. I agree with you.
yeah. And, if we're gonna try and wiggle our way through this,
I like it bubbling up in the yard rather than just straight pipe down to the end. That way you get more treatment, it goes over grass. Get some of that TSS out before it gets down to the stream.
Well, that's,
I don't hate the scheme, but,
that's what I was talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that, the reason why I brought that up is because there's really no information on that.
let's see, here it is right here, what we just talked about.
Where'd that come
Okay.
from?
She brought it.
I just drew
I
that up,
have.
Jack.
Without
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
edge.
Sean designed stuff on the side.
I didn't know they had paper like this in law school, Sean.
I haven't seen that kind of paper since I was in school.
And then that's the grate, huh?
Got the
It
spec on the
looks,
side,
it looks
yeah.
like what's gonna happen is it's gonna come, this is the lot here, it's gonna come out, and it's fairly flat here, but then see what happens. That's fairly, that's
Yeah,
like
it's just the 10 feet that they're talking about.
it's gonna go across the lawn, and then it's gonna work its way down into that ravine or whatever it is. That's where the water's gonna go. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna go to
It's
the,
not gonna, I don't think it's gonna impact the abutters.
I don't think so. But it's gotta be stable, it's gotta be a stable system. So that it works the same way all the time and doesn't erode and change direction and cause siltation,
Right.
migration, that type thing.
So what we're saying is we're in agreement of what they're showing here. But, and then incorporate that on, into it,
Yeah.
incorporate that into this plan.
Yeah, that's why I asked for it, so that we have.
You still think it's a small project?
Well,
It's an honest question, I'm not
Well,
trying to box you in, I'm just,
no, I know.
are we gonna require conditions and a pre and post, or
Well, yeah, but we do anyway with small projects.
the only thing we do with a
Yeah.
small is pre and post, we don't establish any conditions. So effectively, if you're satisfied
I
with
mean-
with that, if
Yeah,
you're
I mean-
satisfied, then that's the ultimate
Yeah,
control you have.
I hear you. I mean, if you guys are comfortable with this as a proposed treatment for the terminal discharge, if you're not, then,
well,
do you know what I mean?
What'd you say, quick landscape, where it discharges? Three-quarter stone, don't cut it. Not if you get any serious water flow.
I would feel better if, and we're talking about the discharge point, I would feel better if we had some sizing calculations or a sizing narrative that says, okay, the maximum flow is gonna be this, and the receptacle in the yard is going to be, have the capacity to receive greater than what the pump will deliver. That way, it's properly sized. I don't think we have that detail yet, and that's why I think some of us are struggling anyway. I know I am.
Well, the problem is like back to the same thing, to stay consistent. Normally, based on what we've seen and including that, it would be considered an RDA because there's conditions that we would like to know, flow, the design of the dry well,
And will the soils receive that?
so that we get our input,
Yeah.
we got hand drawings and
Right.
And,
Get it.
and like Mr. Manzi says, when anybody puts disclaimers in the applications, it kind of red flags it.
A little bit.
Like, it might work, it might not. So, we have to make sure it works, because we're the end result. So I think myself, and I think the commission's with me, I think we should refile it as an RDA. And,
Have
With all the-
additional design detail.
yeah, so we
Yeah,
need,
with the
oh, we
information.
need flow,
Yep. Size and counts, max flow, receptacle capacity, size of,
no, design of the dry well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
I would think they should, I can't design, I'm not gonna design it, but I would say 4 or 5 feet down and fill it with stone, with
Yeah.
erosion stone.
I don't know about putting a dry well 10 foot from the house.
You don't think you should put a dry well?
I guess the flow line's going the right way.
I mean, it definitely,
Won't go
it
right
is
back
de-
in.
I know it'll
definitely,
gravity
you
feed,
know,
but
Trying to infiltrate it 40 feet from a stream, all I want is the infiltration on the surface layer. That's what will make it. Give me max flow through both pumps, coming up, see what that velocity is, and there is a rip-wrap apron size associated with that. You get that on there, give me the math, I'm a happy boy.
Give us a design detail so that we know
And that's
it
fine.
won't
Yeah.
erode
right.
on the surface.
So when's the deadline for the next meeting? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
All right, so you just have to file the application, and then that'll give you 2 weeks to design it,
Okay.
all right?
Oh, okay. I doubt you're gonna get it ready for tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I don't know, she
It's 10
seems-
o'clock in the morning that
She
they have to
seems
submit their
resourceful. I think you can do it.
application. So,
All right,
so you guys are moving towards denying this as a small project and requiring a request for determination of applicability application. Is that what I'm hearing, or?
Is there a way to approve it and allow you to decide if the energy dissipation is adequate?
No.
No.
I mean, I feel more comfortable,
Sure.
someone with
I'm
actual
a new
expertise.
guy, I gotta figure out the rules.
Well, you know what I mean.
So
No, but
I
you know what I
I will
mean.
offer that motion.
yeah,
What motion?
I will offer the motion to deny the application as a small project and invite the applicant to come back with this project submitted as an RDA.
I'll second that for discussion. Should we give him an opportunity to withdraw it?
Yes, and anything I'm not trying to hurt the
Yeah,
applicant.
I know. I know we just generally give him,
Whatever.
oftentimes give him that chance to withdraw.
Whichever you want, your choice.
Uh,
It's an approvable project, I just
Yeah.
don't think, not as a small project.
and if you
Yeah.
withdraw, you save your money.
I mean,
Why
doesn't
why
save
do we
money.
save them money?
What?
Yeah, I'm not.
Why do we save them money?
Huh?
I'm not gonna give them their $25 back.
I'm gonna have to discuss with the homeowner. We have them scheduled at the end of this month, so it's not gonna be a fun conversation either way. I'm gonna have to see where they wanna go.
Okay,
All right, so we just deny.
that's understood.
Just
Yep.
deny them.
Okay.
Just deny
Okay,
them.
so we got a motion to deny, right?
And I seconded it.
Yes, yes, you have a
All
motion
those
and a
in
second,
favor?
and we're in discussion.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, that's unanimous. Okay, sorry.
She didn't want to withdraw.
You vote.
I'm on the
Okay.
next one too, but it's the same system, so I'm not.
I hate denying that one.
I
Dry
know.
basements.
Well,
Give me a little math.
you hate to deny it, but we're not here to design.
But we gave the opportunity to withdraw without prejudice.
Yeah. All right. Next one is NACC 320. Same company,
Same product.
same price.
Yeah.
Same response.
I mean, this is,
Same disclaimer.
Same disclaimer.
yeah. And so the wetlands pretty much wrap around this property. There's a stone wall that separates it from the yard, and then there's a wetland on the other side, and that's trustee's property. So in the field, we found the location at, the foundation where we could have it at 26 feet from this side and 27 feet from the rear, from the wetland, and this is a very, very flat property. But-
Very wet.
And very wet. Yep. And then it's a jack system underneath the house. And it's all, by hand, because you can only get a person there underneath the crawl space of so.
Jack?
Looks like the same issues as the Waverly Road project, closer to the wetland,
Yeah.
but discharging outside the 25-foot no disturb, so that's good. There's no detail on how it just says you're going to put it out that yard grate. It's the same questions. Yeah, you know that. So how do you discharge it onto the lawn and have it be a stable discharge system? And I'm not seeing the details in the proposal.
So it's basically the same thing as, the same detail as 333 Waverly. But
What's the topo look like out there? Is it
it's
going
flat.
pretty quickly?
It's really flat.
Flat, flat, and
Yes.
wet.
Flat and wet. Really not a lot of,
But it's definitely not gonna come back at the house at that discharge point?
yeah, I wouldn't say it would do that. It would just probably sit in the yard. I mean, it's,
I would ask the applicant to at least look at maps and see what soils there are on both projects. One of the soil characteristics on both projects, and at least we'll have some guidance as to, how much of it is going to percolate into the ground and how much is going to be up onto the surface.
This one here is not gonna percolate into the ground,
Not at all.
not at all.
So it's a level spreader, right? That's what we're looking at? It's a level spreader, which is what the other one was.
yeah,
They're both level spreaders.
sort of, yeah.
The other one had a level spreader, I'd be happy. Probably approve it.
Yeah, it wasn't shown on the first one.
The only, I had no problem and have no problem with level spreaders. What I wanted to know was what the volume was going to be coming out.
Yeah, I have no idea.
How can we,
I don't know,
how can we do this with a straight face if we don't have,
No, I
we don't
get it.
know the volume?
right. And this could be potentially more because
Oh,
the
absolutely.
wetlands
That's
is
all, I mean,
right there.
it's an approvable project, but the way it's gonna be installed is gonna have a great deal to do with the volume of
Yeah.
the water that's coming out.
Right.
And how often.
Right.
I'm trying to,
Yeah, I
If
know.
it just sits there, it could just short circuit and recirculate over and over.
Yeah.
right, but I mean, like I said, it's an approvable project, it just lacks, it needs more information, so
Yep.
you could go back to the drawing board and bring us back more information, we just need more stuff.
Big
Yeah.
fan of dry basements.
I can get maybe some information for like maximum, influx of water, because it would really depend on the circumstances of, you know what I mean? They've only seen what they've seen for water in their basement, and so this is to try to alleviate that.
This one's a crawl space.
We understand, but
What size pipe are you putting through here?
What's that?
What size pipe? I didn't see that.
I believe, I don't have the specs with that in front of me.
Thought I saw that.
I mean, for the first one, Waverly, you're gonna have, I think the DOT has apron sizes based on pipe size. that would be a simple solution. This one's a little bit less, because we don't
Yeah.
exactly know the flow path away yet. So this one, we're gonna need a little bit more than what we need for Waverly.
So,
But yeah, very approvable.
yeah,
I think it is.
it is. The other one is too. I mean, I don't know, maybe we looked at it too hard.
If we gave you a little time, could you work on this? If we tabled this? and-
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're willing to get whatever information
Well,
you
can you
need or
get
whatever
it?
we need to do for erosion control, all of those things.
We're not talking about erosion controls, we're talking about water volume.
Tomorrow.
So, do you think that you can, if we gave you till the end of the meeting, could you get that information? Could you call somebody? Could you do something?
To the end of this meeting?
No?
That's a tough one. I can try.
Can we
But, yeah.
continue a small project, right?
I think you should, my humble opinion is you should request a continuance and come back to the next meeting
Yeah.
with the information that we're asking for.
Okay.
What do you think?
We just,
I agree.
I know, but we just denied
I mean-
Waverly, so we should deny this as well. If it's the same questions, same type of project, deny both.
Okay.
Come back with an RDA.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense.
I'm not saying to come back with an idea, I'm just saying that we,
That's what you said.
Okay.
What you voted.
what I'm saying is I want volume
Right.
figures. I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't wanna make them wait till next month either. I mean, get it in
No.
2 weeks.
Well,
That would be ideal.
if,
Well, is the filing deadline any different for a small project? No, so if we
It
continue.
is,
if
it
we-
is, yeah.
Yep.
Small projects don't have to be advertised, so they can be submitted 7 days prior to,
Okay.
7
So-
business days prior to the meeting,
so
target meeting.
let's continue this one, and she could always resubmit the denied one.
As a
If she
small-
gets some
Oh,
As a
data.
I
small
see, okay, I
project.
see what you're saying.
Or we could, can we reopen it and revote and just be consistent? I'd hate
Would be
to see.
good to be consistent.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
you-
to have one, the same project.
If it pleases everybody here and we can get this off the bubble,
Yes.
I'll move to reconsider my previous motion,
On
Well, we voted
which
on it. So-
project?
the one that was denied.
Waverly.
Wait, I'm offering a motion to reconsider so we can
Continue it.
we can get going. We got a lot of people waiting to do stuff here.
So we got a motion and a,
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that's unanimous.
Okay, so now we're reconsidering deny, okay?
Right.
Okay.
333
So you'll-
Waverly Road.
I'm done making motions.
Then I'll do it. I move that we continue 4 Oak Avenue.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Didn't we just
Opposed,
reopen
and that's
Waverly?
We
unanimous.
did, we voted on
And
it.
we gotta do, and we gotta
Reverse
and we gotta
back.
continue
Yeah, same thing. You have to,
Waverly Road. Gotta make
And
a
then just
motion.
motion to continue Waverly as well.
As well, yes.
Okay.
So nothing's
Thank you.
denied, it's discontinued, you don't have to worry about refiling, and you can come to us at the
Appreciate
next
it.
meeting, and we'll, again, with additional information, we'll see if this can be a small project.
please
Okay.
get the information, please.
Absolutely.
Please.
So that
I'll give
goes,
you, I'll give you a list
Yeah.
of what you need.
okay, so I'll get with you tomorrow then.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I good otherwise?
Yeah, yep. So we're continued to January 24th,
Okay,
and we'll connect tomorrow, and I'll give you the list of what we need.
thank you.
That's-
Okay, thanks.
Just 1 second. Brad, you wanted, did you say something about a spreader for with discharge pipes?
Waverly was easy, because we know where the water's gonna go. Oak Avenue's less such. I don't know where that water's go when it comes out that bubble, and I'd like to know that.
Okay,
Okay,
understood.
all right,
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Now pick up speed here.
Oh, that's why.
Next one is RDA 754 Boxford Street.
Have to look at it at an angle. Alrighty, this project is for installation of a 16 by 24 above-ground pool with an existing lawn in the backyard. Let's see, so disturbances in the lawn would involve leveling the area slightly to get a flat surface for the pool. It's gently sloping, but it needs to get a little leveled there. Let's see. At its closest point, the pool deck, not the pool itself, but the surrounding deck will be 51 feet from the wetland, so we don't have a lot of wiggle room. And the shed, I had followed up, the property owner followed up with me about the shed that was already discussed under a previous application with the previous administrator, and you guys took no action because it was installed at least in 2005 by the previous owner, so.
All set, Amy?
Yeah.
Jack, any
I
questions?
believe Jay from Gibraltar Pools is with us if you have questions for him.
Jack, any questions?
My name's Jay, I'm from Gibraltar Pools. I'm
We just have some,
representing the guy.
ask questions from the commissioner first, and then we'll have,
Oh, okay.
please, thank you.
Yeah, a lot going on here. The pool, as proposed, seems like it, it's placed properly. We have, but as Amy mentioned, there's a shed just outside the 25-foot no disturb zone, and then there's a raised bed garden within the no disturb zone, and also a fence within the no disturb zone, I think. It says chain link fence typical. So it looks like we got some violations here. And I'd like,
So, like I said, they came in 2017 for a water connection, and Jen had pointed out the shed, and you guys took no action. So I think you've already looked at that and decided not to take any action. So in my mind, I think the shed has been dealt with, because you kind of had,
What action did we take?
you took no action on it.
What was in front of us at the time?
It was a small project for water connection, water main connection.
You know,
Sounds uncharacteristic of us.
it's more likely because it was a water connection.
No, Jen pointed it out to you. She said it out loud in the meeting, that there's a shed there. And she said,
You
I
were
think,
there?
I watched the video, so you guys can watch the video if you want to.
Was I
I'm
there?
just- Oh, I don't know. But, so anyway. But
Okay, all right.
I'm just saying, you already talked about it. If you want to bring it up again, that's your prerogative, I guess.
okay, that's the shed. Was there any discussion on the raised bed garden? And there's
I
looks
don't-
like there's a greenhouse.
That's like a portable
I know.
thing.
And-
They can move it. The raised garden bed, I think they can just move. I don't think that was there when Jen was looking at the water.
Looks like it's right up next to the wetland.
Yeah, it should move.
Both should move.
Yeah.
And there's also a gravel bump out for the driveway that
That was
appears
also,
to be on another, the neighbor's property.
that was already pointed out by Jen in 2017.
It's not our issue, but
You guys weren't on the ball at all.
yeah, it is. It's right there.
If it's a violation.
Okay, I mean, the proposed pool seems to comply with our bylaw, but this project has some violations that we probably need to decide how to deal with.
Right.
That's how I see it.
There is a solution that we've used in the past.
Okay.
You have the benefit of me sitting here a long time. While I believe you when you say we took no action on the shed, we have the authority to prohibit any improvements, repairs, or maintenance to be performed on the shed. And that would be my suggestion for the record, is that while the shed may be allowed to remain, it may not be repaired, improved, maintained in any way,
Or replaced.
or replaced.
About the fence.
Was the fence there back then?
That I don't know. I don't know.
May I speak on this as a homeowner?
Oh, sure.
Or do you have
Just have a seat, tell us who you are.
Sure.
And
Brian Geiger, homeowner. So we bought the property as is, as you've seen it, minus the garden box. We went through, obviously, discuss some of these same discussions or questions you're asking. They informed us during site visits and everything else, we could do whatever we want within the confines of the fence. That, you know, we can't obviously decide to extend our yard beyond the fence or start building new
Who
structures.
said that?
Whomever was in your position, I don't know who the individual was, but the conservation agent for the town.
What
So-
year?
That was back in 2017 when we bought the house. So, for example, like the yard, they had said that you could do whatever you'd like. You know, you'd need to get a permit if you wanted to build a structure, but they said, you know, like the fence and stuff, you can do what you want within this property, within the fence. But again, obviously understanding that we're not going to be able to just go build a new yard, for example, into the wetland. So that's what we were informed of. I mean, I understand some of your concerns, but obviously as the owner that bought a property that was in an existing condition, that's kind of you know, it's kind of tough to say, hey, by the way, go remove your fence, go remove this, go remove that. But that answers your question. The fence was pre-existing. The shed obviously was there. The only thing that was new is that garden box. I mean, that is something that's can be removed, but we were told that we can maintain our property or, you know, utilize the space within the fence.
I mean, I guess my comment to that is it sounds like it might have been a misunderstanding at the time, because typically the commission will ask to restore part of, especially the no disturb zone, the 25-foot setback, that the fence is within.
But the,
I'm not sure what criteria she used or whoever used to advise you on that, but typically, and I mean, we go back well before 2017, that we would, for a project with features in the no disturb zone, we would typically want some of that no disturb zone restored to its natural condition, you know, as part of the project. I mean, that's how I remember it. I mean, I'm talking in general
Sure.
terms, okay?
Yeah,
Not on this specific property, but, so, there, it sounds like there might have been a misunderstanding on that. It sounds like there's some agreement on the raised bed garden.
yeah, it's just a garden box.
Yep, yep.
So
2x 10s or something, and the soil in there, yeah. I like those. If you moved it closer to the house, it would do just fine. And so we have to decide what we want to do with the shed and the fence. It sounds like there has been some guidance on the shed. The fence, I think we need to resolve that,
That's what I asked.
as well as the raised bed
Front of the shed
garden.
connects to the back of the
So,
shed.
I'll pass it on. I've talked too much.
No, you don't. Well, normally we allow fence to the 25, okay?
In fact, there,
But the other part that, my thing is the gravel bump out. First of all, it's not on their property. Second of all, it looks like that the wetlands was altered so they could put that in there. Because, I mean, it just seems funny, it just goes this way, and all of a sudden, jogs out and it goes back into where it used to
Probably
be.
was, but I don't know how.
So I know we don't allow gravel driveways in the 25, or in the wetlands.
I mean, that's technically my whole driveway itself is in the wetlands. I understand that, but I mean, we didn't build a brand new house, you know, and then go against a violation. That's the property as we've purchased it, and we're never obviously, you know, made aware of the restrictions of that.
Does the neighbor mind you using his yard as a driveway?
Nope, they've never, since we've lived there, no one's ever made a statement of that, and we have considered approaching them about trying to do like a swap,
That's
obviously, because
subject
it's
verb.
an odd
And then
property,
Yeah, it is.
that,
it
you know.
is a weird,
the,
it
the
wraps
other que-
around.
But it's pre-existing, right?
It's all pre-existing since we purchased that. I mean, that's,
And the other question I have is construction access to get to do this pool work, and
Right through the driveway.
right through the driveway, through the 25,
The
and
driveway goes,
stockpile.
From the end of the driveway to where we're gonna go is probably about, I'm guessing right now from memory, but about 40 feet. Now, what we're gonna bring in to do what we need to do, as far as, like I said, slight grading, is a small bobcat, and we'll have that bobcat on the property probably less than an hour. This whole project for us is really only gonna be about an 8-hour project.
So there'll be no stockpiling on the project, on
No.
the site? Okay.
Is there tree removal? for
No.
No?
No.
Part of the, part of the site that the pool is gonna be built on is already previously disturbed. There used to be an old deck there that's been removed. And the rest of it is established lawn.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with the location of the pool and the setbacks. It's the other items that we've talked about.
All right. Sean?
As far as the shed goes, I just, please stake that so it doesn't get within 50, not the shed, the pool, just stake it so that it doesn't get
Oh.
within 50 feet.
Oh, yeah.
That's really a big deal to us. As far as this being in front of us before, I agree. If we looked at this shed before and we didn't take action on it, we probably shouldn't do that now. I think Al's thought about, not allowing any further work on it, just to let it deteriorate, is a good one. Concerning the use, there's a fence out there now, and I guess it was out there when Jen was on site. It is right up to the wetlands. I lost it again. There it goes. Yep.
it basically follows the paved driveway
Oh, okay.
towards the,
Back of the shed.
towards the back of the shed.
Yep.
It-
And the fence stops at the raised garden bed?
Yeah, right. It basically maybe
Comes back to the
6
corner of the
inches,
house.
and then it cuts across. Obviously, there's an opening. It's the driveway itself ends. The fence kind of picks up. Is keep the pets in, keep the kids in.
Oh, okay, I see it now.
But again, that was all existing. I mean, I've tried to myself scratch my head to figure out how the lot was there. I mean, I know at one point it was, I think there's now 4 houses on this one lot. I've always wondered if they put this driveway in and then said, no, you can't continue this road back to where they wanted to be. And they said, fine, we'll just put a house here instead. I mean, it was, the whole property and everything was constructed back in '79. I'm not saying the fence was put in '79, but the whole property itself, the house was built in 1979 and driveway was existing since then, and I'm sure the fence, I don't know when it was, but it was before I bought it, and like I said, one of the first things I did as a new owner, I had no drinkable water. I came to the board, went through the same process to add in town water, and they looked at, and nothing has changed since then. The driveway, the fence, the shed. The only thing that changed was my deck fell off the house.
Right.
So I then said, well, what can I do? And so we said, let's add a pool instead. And then we have the raised garden box, and that could be a misunderstanding of, hey, you're within your fence, you know, you can, if you wanna put a raised garden box, I mean, we're happy to move that, I mean, it's not, I can't do it today, you know, but,
Yeah.
you know, within a reasonable time frame, you know, we can, you know, relocate that to another portion of the property, or,
I remember this house.
Yeah, From my perspective, it's the fact that this has been in front of us before, not the fact that it was, you know, you came to it, right? I mean, we see that all the time, and unfortunately, the new owners have to deal with the regulations, and the fact that they bought it when it was not in compliance doesn't change the lay of the landscape, no pun intended. But here we are in a condition where this has been in front of us before, we looked at it and we didn't take action then, so I don't feel comfortable taking action now.
Okay. Any more
And I would
questions?
just say my final comment on that was, and I can't remember if I said it during the meeting or if it was just in and out of the conservation office when we were doing it, is I would have gone back to the previous owner. You know, we had just bought the house. I would have said, well, wait a minute, there's an issue with this purchase that we're doing, so I appreciate that perspective. I mean, I get the, hey, draw a line in the sand, no more going forward, you know.
Any more questions?
No, sir.
Brad?
Not really. I think the shed and the fence and the 25 no disturb needs to go the route that you said. No maintenance, no upkeep of it. The gravel bump out that is close to the wetlands isn't even on your property, so we can't get you to do anything there. Pool looks good, so I think move the bed. Say you can't fix that portion of your fence or your shed, no good.
I think it might be beneficial to the wetland if the raised garden bed were relocated or removed, removed from the 25-foot no disturb zone, and the fence be relocated. It comes off the back of the shed right now. If it could come off the front of the shed and run along the boundary of the no disturb zone, which is shown on your plan, it would kind of run parallel to where it is now. You'd lose a little bit of your yard, but that would be a benefit to the wetland.
Unfortunately, I wouldn't have access to the shed because the access into the shed is right where the fence starts. There's a ramp up to get, you know, my equipment, you know, lawnmower.
Is the entrance to the shed facing the house?
No, it's not. It's facing towards the wetland.
So any alteration that would see him be able to still access his shed means that we're gonna do work in the no disturb zone.
Yeah, no, it's,
Good question.
it goes from bad to worse, Laura here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like Sean said, it was there, it's been seen in 2017, and we took no action then. I don't think we should take any action
I'm not as offended by the chain link fence.
now. No, because we allow fences to the 25.
Well,
What about plantings to make it so that it's not
I
a
think that's,
manicured lawn?
I think that's where we are now. I think we're gonna be looking for some mitigation plantings from you. Amy,
Yep.
your opinion on mitigation? Where, if you could get it, would you like to see it?
I think where the garden bed is and where that, the portable, you know, greenhouse
You
thing.
following what I'm saying?
I'm not. You could
So-
explain yourself.
If the commission is inclined to grant the permit and everything as we've discussed stays put, the shed can stay there, you just don't fix it anymore. We're talking about mitigation, plantings, wetland, giving us some wetland somewhere
Buffer zone.
in the buffer zone where it should be anyway,
Within my lawn.
within a
Yeah.
portion of it, yeah.
With
Like,
inside the
I
fence.
would say right along the edge of the fence
You
that's
get your
closest to the
pool,
wetland.
you keep your fence, you keep your shed,
Keep your gravel turnover.
So you plant you plant shrubs that Amy can specify for you. You plant them right where she's got her cursor, up and down the fence line.
Yeah, right along here.
So that part of the buffer zone,
Sure.
the no disturb zone, becomes shrubs instead of manicured lawn.
It's an enhancement to the.
Yeah, right, I can tell you right now that where that section is, I mean, it is, we could definitely look at planting bushes. There's no grass there. I mean, don't really have grass. I look at crabgrass and get envious of how green it is versus what I have sometimes. But yeah, I guess I could, I mean, as long as I'm not planting a pricker bush that's gonna harm my kids,
We're
you
not-
know, because eventually the kids are gonna play,
We're
the
not-
ball might get in
We're
there.
not gonna
so-
ask you to do anything that's gonna
Yeah.
endanger your kids.
Mhm.
Okay, that would not be consistent with how we operate.
Thank you.
Can we do 10-foot inside the fence, just a wetland seed mix on there, see how it turns out?
Well, maybe some high bush blueberry, that's a harmless,
There's no seed mix, it's cheap and easy.
Well, if there's no grass
Yeah.
growing there now, it sounds like it's kind of a shady
It's
spot.
a mixture,
high bush would be perfect then.
Yeah, I know.
So we just use the discretion of Amy.
Well,
Well,
Yeah.
you gotta give me some
we-
parameters
we-
that
we- and we-
aren't negotiable.
at this rate, we're gonna be here till midnight. Let's
Yeah,
come
so
up
let's-
with a solution, okay, guys, because
This is,
I'll offer,
Plan-
I'll be happy to offer a motion and see where it goes. I move that we consider, what is this, an IDA? So a -3,
Yep.
a -3 with conditions and restoration.
second. All those in favor say aye.
Hold on. For the
Discussion.
restoration shall be at the direction of the administrator.
Maybe specify 5 shrubs.
I prefer to let the administrator get out on the ground and say, this is the area, flag it, mark it. Unless you don't want to do that, unless you just
Sounds
want
like
us to
she's
give them a
looking for
number.
direction.
I'm looking for direction. Give me like, you know.
How big is it, how many
tell-
square feet is the area you think we're talking about?
Well, that's kind of what I was gonna ask you.
You're looking for
Like,
square footage from us,
You want
okay.
5 feet off the
like-
fence by, I don't know, 25 feet or?
We got a couple engineers here that can give us
Looks
a
like
square
about
footage.
40 feet of linear fence that would be a good spot to put shrubs in front of the fence.
Yeah,
So 40 feet of fence, a shrub every 8 feet,
okay.
right?
It sounds good to me.
That's 5 shrubs.
And, something, a facultative
Yep,
choice.
yes. That can handle some wet.
That can handle some shade,
and
can
shade
handle
and
some wet.
Yep,
That won't look terrible and won't hurt the kids.
yep. Right.
Like Buck Pond.
And then the raised
No.
bed garden would be
I can-
relocated.
Yeah, absolutely. I can either, depending on the wife's, either have it completely relocated on the opposite side or have it removed in its entirety.
Okay, you following what I'm doing here, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you.
It'll look good behind your pool.
All right, so we got a
Better in a
motion.
sunny
So
area.
that's my motion, as amended, motion and
And a
second.
second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? And that's unanimous. Okay.
All set.
We're all
Thank you
set.
very much.
Okay, thanks.
Please feel free to call and ask if you're in doubt about something.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll
Yeah,
get in touch.
yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next one's 242, 1878 30 N Road, requested continue till January 24th.
So move.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that's unanimous. Next one is 242 1880 Boston Street.
All right. So the commission will recall this is a construction of a new single-family house on a vacant lot with associated septic system, grading, and other appurtenances. At the last meeting, the commission asked for confirmation that grading and the stone wall removal was permissible within the right-of-way per the DPW. And then you also asked for some plan details showing construction entrance and a stockpile area. Those items have been addressed. We have a stockpile area on the plan, a construction entrance shown. We have correspondence from town engineer John Bergese that the work within the right-of-way can be addressed with the road opening permit that will be needed, and the building permit as well. So, and that was really the remaining outstanding issues from the last hearing.
Jack?
Yeah, I think they've given us everything that we asked for, so I have no more questions.
Al?
No questions.
Sean?
No questions?
Brad?
I spoke with the applicant before the meeting regarding some grading in the driveway. I think we're good, so I think no questions.
Okay.
You good?
Motion?
Move that we close 242-1880, 531 Boston Street, formerly known as 0 Boston Street.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that's unanimous. Next one is
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
242, 350 Winthrop Ave. No DP number. And this project right now is under planning review, correct?
Yes.
And third-party review.
Yes.
So basically, what we're gonna do is just open it.
Yep.
If you have any questions.
Yep. Understood.
So let me get to the overall site plan. Have to move slow. Come on. Is that the? I think it is. All right, let me try that. Sorry, this is just a very large file that doesn't want to move fast. Okay. All right, do you guys want me to give you a quick rundown, or
Yeah, just do a quick one.
All right, I'll just
Or
do a
we can
brief
just have them all do it.
recap?
Anybody that
Amy.
can go faster?
We get,
Which one of you can go faster?
no, we can make, like, he's gotta give the presentation anyway, so you can,
Okay, I don't care who.
you can sit and enjoy the show.
Okay, I'll enjoy the show. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening. For the record, my name is Brian Dundon. I am a site civil engineer with R.J. O'Connell and Associates. I have with me tonight the owner's rep, Mr. James Lamp from LT Development, and our professional wetland scientist, Mr. Tom Liddy from Lucas Environmental. We have here tonight on behalf of a notice of intent application that was filed for property located at 350 Winthrop Ave. The site itself is currently developed, approximately 41.8 acres in size, and currently operates as a retail shopping center, more commonly known as North Andover Mall. The mall itself is currently anchored by an existing Market Basket and an associated Kohl's with a number of small stores with a total gross floor area of about 263,000 square feet. There's also a little over 1,000 parking spaces on site, and as you can see from the colored site plan, there is some internal landscape areas associated with the parking area. The site is also serviced by 2 curb cuts. At the southerly end of the site, the curb cut is a full access curb cut operated under a signalized situation, And at the northerly end of the project, there is an exit-only driveway onto Winthrop Ave. The site also is encumbered by regulated wetland resource areas. There is wetland resource areas located on the north end of the site, over by, if you're familiar with the property, by the Merrimack Valley drive-through bank area. And then on the southern end, which is, I believe, Londy's restaurant on the southerly end of the site. Along the property frontage, there is an existing perennial stream which flows and outlets into the Shawshene River. The site is also, based on a review of the flood maps for the town of North Andover, is also located within, a portion of the site is located within the 100-year floodplain. And essentially, just rough numbers, about 90% of the front parking lot area is located within the flood zone area. The applicant is proposing to perform some renovations to the property. The renovations include both building and site. In the spring of 2024, the existing lease for the Kohl's, which occupies about 92,000 square feet of the mall, is set to expire. There's an agreement in place as part of the lease renewal that Kohl's wishes to downsize. And oddly enough, Market Basket is wishing to increase its footprint area. The agreement in place, or the plan in place, is that once Kohl's lease expires, Market Basket would come in and renovate the Kohl's space and then eventually move into it. Once Market Basket has moved into the renovated Kohl's space, the old Market Basket space would be renovated, and Kohl's would occupy about 41,000 square feet of it, and the remaining, and about another 17,000 square feet would be leased out to small store, specialty shop, retail tenants. As part of the renovation of the existing Market Basket, approximately 9,000 square feet of the front facade would be removed as part of that. So the footprint of the mall, which is now 236, would get reduced by about 9,000 square feet. As a result of taking the opportunity to do the building renovations, we've also committed to performing some site renovations as well. Those renovations include upgrades and enhancement to the existing parking facility. Currently, the edge of the existing parking, the perimeter driveway around the outside edge of the parking lot in the vicinity where the perennial stream is located within the quote-unquote 25-foot non-disturbance zone. As part of this renovation, we are proposing to move or relocate the edge of the drive so it is outside the 25-foot no disturbance zone. So there's going to be about a 15 to 20-foot shift of the parking lot inboard to the site, and that paved area would be removed, and that area will be regraded and restored with future stormwater BMPs. In addition to, as well as additional improvements to the parking lot area include, right now, the perimeter edge of the parking lot, the perimeter parking field does not have any curbing. We will be installing vertical granite curbing around the perimeter edge of the parking facility, as well as interior to the parking lot. So each of the beginnings and ends of the parking rows will have a landscaped island to it, and then we've also integrated in longitudinal islands about every fourth parking row. So upon the completion of these improvements, about 909 parking spaces will be provided. We are also taking this opportunity to provide pedestrian connectivity to the site. There are 2 sidewalk systems proposed from Winthrop Ave to the small store to the shopping center storefronts. The first sidewalk is actually on the south end, where there is an existing stub of a sidewalk that was left on the property. We are proposing to extend that up to the south end of the shopping center and have it connect into the sidewalk system along the storefronts. In addition to that, we're also adding a second sidewalk along the south side of the exit-only driveway. That'll run from Winthrop Ave down into the perimeter parking lot, and will run up one of the second longitudinal island, proposed longitudinal island that will separate between Market Basket and Kohl's with that. In addition to those improvements, we will also the redesign of the parking lot will result in a net decrease or reduction in impervious surface area by about 55,000 square feet as compared to the existing site conditions. And then we will also have, this will also give us the ability, as I mentioned before, is to have the perimeter edge of the parking facility located outside of the 25-foot non-disturbed zone. As well as the parking lot enhancements, we are also proposing enhancements to the existing stormwater management system on site. Currently, what happens is water from the front parking lot area to sheet flows down towards Winthrop Ave. It is collected in the perennial stream. Stormwater is untreated. It gets discharged into the perennial stream and eventually goes out to the Shawshene River. The proposal that we are forthcoming is that with respect to stormwater, we are still going to maintain the current contours of the parking lot. In other words, it will still flow from towards Winthrop Ave. But as a result of pulling back the edge of pavement about 20 to 25 feet, we are proposing to install a grass channel swale along the perimeter edge prior to the stream bed, which would intercept the first 1 inch of rainfall runoff and direct that flow to a sediment forebay, which would then outlet into a wet basin prior to its discharge into the perennial stream. This would occur on the south end. If you use the exit-only driveway as the divider, on the south end of that driveway, that would be the approach we're taking to handle stormwater runoff. On the north end of that driveway, it's a little bit different. Didn't have really the opportunity or the real estate to integrate in a grass channel swale. So we are proposing to install a closed drainage system consisting of deep sump catch basins with hoods, which would direct stormwater runoff to a sediment forebay for treatment, which would then outlet into a wet basin, a constructed wet basin. And from that wet basin, what we would do is have that outlet into the existing bioretention area that exists on site. And our proposal is just to expand that bioretention area such that it encompasses or is close to the discharge point from the wet basin. So in summary, as a result of these enhancements, we were able to achieve a total suspended solids removal rate of about 80%. We were also being able to have a phosphorus removal rate of about 52% as compared to the existing condition, which there is none. It's zero and zero for both. As Amy alluded to, in conjunction with filing our notice of intent application, we are required to file with the planning board. Our discussions with both Amy and Jean, the director of planning, was that their wishes was to have a coordinated plan review performed by the town's third-party reviewer, Horsley Witten. Horsley Witten has both the notice of intent documents, plans, stormwater report, and the notice of intent application, as well as a special permit application. I have received late last week confirmation that Janet from Horsley Witten has said documents, and it's now currently under review. So we're kind of waiting for some feedback from Horsley Witten on comments that may need to be addressed. We'll also make note that when we filed our application, we did receive some preliminary comments from Amy on the plan set. I have had a chance to review those comments, and we'll be able to address those to Amy's satisfaction once we make a formal resubmission, once we receive the comments from Horsley Witten. There was also a site walk done with the site. I was not present. My colleague, Tom Liddy from Lucas Environmental, walked the site with Amy last Friday. There was some comments that came up regarding that site visit that I believe that we can work with the commission on resolving. I can summarize them very broadly if you like, and
Yeah.
kind of let you know how we think we would be able to address those,
Yeah.
if you like.
Yeah, if you want.
Let's get some questions from what
Sure.
you presented so far, so we don't have a big deluge of information at one time. You have any questions what's been presented so far, Jack?
Yeah, first a comment. It sounds like you've built in some features that are favorable to, you know, our goal here, our mission as the North Andover Conservation Commission, and you know, they're very well received by me anyway. I think, you know, that redoing the front end of that, the intermittent stream is a very good approach. I have another comment too, and it's about that front parking lot. We've struggled over the years to contain trash in that parking lot, and there's a short fence on the south side of the parking lot that is actually right where your new walkway is going. I think a taller fence would be a good idea to better contain, because there's a wetland right just on the other side of that.
Yep. And it's full of trash.
It's full of trash. It's not, I mean, I looked at it, and there's some trash that obviously people have thrown in there, but a lot of it is stuff that just blows across that large parking lot, and there's, you know, bags up in trees and things like that. So, I mean, I don't know how you do that, but I think you could do a better job, and this is a perfect time to do that, to better protect that particular wetland. And so anyway, those are my comments, and I applaud you for, you know, the approach you're taking, reducing the impervious area, especially where we have, you know, land subject to flooding in this area. I did have a question though on the back side, you know, where the loading docks are and things like that. Is there any plans to expand that, or reduce that, or reconfigure that? What are your goals back there?
Okay, with respect to the rear of the shopping center, essentially the plan is to kind of, the existing building footprints are going to essentially remain in place. However, there is a minor alteration planned for what will be the future market basket space. Kohl's has a loading dock appendage that comes out the back of their building that's pretty much parallel to the back of their building wall. And under the redevelopment scenario, Market Basket is proposing to rebuild that loading dock and angle it so that it's angled a little bit away from the back wall for the purpose of being able to have trucks be easier accessible for the trucks. As a result of those loading docks coming in, we are proposing to collect stormwater runoff that gets contained in them and route them through a hydrodynamic particle separator for pollutant removal prior to its connection to the drainage system out back, which is a pipe system that's consisting of drain manholes and catch basins with hoods, and eventually outlets into the wetland area located on the northeasterly side of that property. So again, right now, the back edge of that paved line will remain the same. What it is today, it's not curbed, so there is a little bit of erosion scouring occurring between the interface with the edge of the pavement and the landscaped areas, or non-paved areas. We will be curving that whole perimeter edge as part of this improvement plan, and obviously loaming and seeding and stabilizing the disturbed areas as a result of that work.
Is there any stormwater management changes subsurface back there on the backside as well?
There will be no changes,
But the
only the
curbing
addition.
is-
Yeah,
is
just
a
the
help-
curbing,
Is
yes.
a helpful improvement?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have.
So, my concern right now is and are any enhancements that can be made to the riverfront area in the back, the Shawshene River. That's a river that historically has taken a beating. Anything and everything gets dumped in that river, sometimes accidentally, not on your property, not intentionally at least on your property, but I'd be looking for enhancements across the board to the riverfront area, the bank. The curbing, I heard you say curbing, I think that's good. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see a tremendous amount of enhancements and restoration along that river, along the entire front of the river that abuts your property. And that's my concern. Thank you. And I don't expect you to tell me tonight.
Okay. No, understood.
That's what I'll be looking for going forward. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I have a few things. You guys can help me. So it's gonna be a complete re-excavation of the parking lot, or you're just gonna mill and, is it all coming out?
No, what the plan is to do is to reclaim the parking lot area, and then it'll be regraded to the new contour elevations that we've submitted, and then paved.
Okay. The reason why I asked that, because I don't-
Full depth reclaim.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember one time there was a project and they were ripping up the parking lot. And we were looking for drainage systems, stormwater drainage systems that are complying to the new standards. So that's what I was wondering if that applies.
No, it'll be redevelopment, so it's to the maximum extent practicable.
Okay, so they couldn't put like storm drainage,
So we can't hold them to
the new standards?
the new standards in terms of new development.
The other question is out back, the loading docks for the market basket. I used to own trucks, so that's why I'm looking. The way you got this tractor trailers are not gonna get in there unless you're expanding the back parking lot.
We have provided, not with this case, but we have run the truck turning movements around the perimeter of the back area, and we have the ability to have the trucks be able
Well, you
to
got,
enter and exit those.
so you got trucks backing in this way,
Yes.
then you got trucks backing in that way. So you got, sometimes they're coming around this way to come, because there's no way they're gonna turn around. I don't know how good he is, but
So the,
without expanding where those loading docks are, without expanding that paving. Because you're saying the paving that's there now that's it,
That's it.
okay?
And what the trucks do today is, as they come in on the right-hand, on the south end, they come around the back, and they service their tenants. Right where the text says proposed coals, out in the back lot, it's pretty open, so the trucks do a spin, U-turn in that area, and then come back out towards the signalized driveway.
So you're saying they're gonna turn around at where the
Right,
proposed,
yeah, in that area right in there. That's what they do today. And I guess the benefit of this redevelopment project is that the tenant mix that's currently at the mall, the major anchors, the Kohl's and the Market Baskets, are already there today, so they're operational in these, they're familiar with the center. They will be there under the redevelopment condition. We are adding about 17,000 square feet of what I classify as small store specialty shops. So typically their deliveries are usually with small box trucks or vans, and there's adequate room for those trucks to navigate along the rear axis.
But just, just as long as you, what you're telling me, the building footprint stays the same pretty much, you're not expanding the buildings?
In the back area, it stays the same, correct. We are taking 9,000 square feet of the existing Market Basket storefront area off the front piece of it, but nothing, the building footprint in the back is staying.
Yeah, what I've liked to have seen was, you know, the new building over the old, so I could see what was changing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a composite overlay.
Right.
You can kind of almost see it on, it's kind of screened on the board that, on the file, that plan that Amy has up there.
Yep.
Okay. And then you have these two islands that have nothing in them? What are they, concrete, or they just, are you
Islands.
proposing some plantings in there, or?
Yeah, there is, as a result of these islands being put in, there is a detailed landscape plan that's part of the package that will be integrated into the redevelopment program as well.
That's part of that's in the plan set, I just didn't print it out for you. But it's
Okay, that's all the questions I have now, and I'll be waiting for the third-party review from
Horsley Witten.
Morrissey Whip.
Mr. Napoli, Jim Lamp with LTD. If you look at the plan behind you, you can actually see the front of the market goes into the front drive aisle. It's hatched beyond the fire lane. So you can see it actually goes in about 15 feet into the proposed fire lane in front of the proposed Coles.
Right here.
The Coles, Amy.
Okay.
Oh,
Right,
See that,
It's a
you got the
screen.
fire lane,
Oh,
they come
this
down,
hatch.
yeah, there's the front of the existing market basket
oh,
right
I
there.
see.
So that's the biggest building change. For the
Okay.
most part, the loading docks stay the same in the back, except for, as Brian said, they're angled just to provide better access. So the truck movements are relatively the same, and we've put a 120-foot spin circle right behind Coles to prove that we can get the trucks in and out. So we actually think it's probably a little bit better than what it was.
Yeah, like I said, as long as because the back of that place is a sensitive area, there's wetlands back
Yes.
there, and so any expansion of that, and Mr. Maben suggested a higher fence on the south side along the, along Jesus. I would suggest back there that for some reason trash loves to collect back there. And I know you guys just done well, but you can't maintain it all
Well,
the
there's no
time.
plastic bags anymore allowed, so we've done half the job.
No,
There won't be
there's
any more plastic
no
bags in
plastic
trees.
bags for under 3,000 square foot building. So all these other guys, they can still use plastic bags.
Okay, I got you. You're right.
Over.
The other thing we're doing in the rear is we'll be putting an under drain. We have a lot of drainage issues coming off the embankment down to that site. It's quite a steep embankment that comes down, so we're going to put an under drain along the curb line to keep the water from coming over the curb and sheeting across the paved area. So
Yeah, when we had the
we're hopefully going
monsoon
to
in
fix that problem. Pardon me?
When we had the monsoon in September, you must have plenty of water there.
Oh, this has been a tough year for a lot of our sites.
Yeah. No, that's
You're not
all.
alone.
Right.
Stay tuned.
I'm tuned.
Yeah, we got another 2 inches coming. Okay, that's all I have questions for now. I know I'll have more, but
Not tonight, though.
not tonight.
I don't have any questions at this point.
Go ahead.
The outside perimeter of pavement, we're not going out at all anywhere?
that is correct.
Cool.
Retracting, if we're doing anything, we're retracting on the south side where the entrance is. We're pulling away from where that fence is. It was referred to by Mr. Manzi, or excuse me, Mr. Babin. And we're retracting as much as we possibly can on the roadway side. Where the drive aisle, there's a line there today, so if you drive out and you see a line, that's basically where the new curb line is. And as Brian said, it's about 20-plus feet in a lot of places.
Just one more question. If approved, what is your timeline for construction?
We would hope to be under construction in the spring. This is because Kohl's is going to shut down, then we're going to keep our store open, the Market Basket. We have to build a market basket. That takes for a rebuild like that, probably a year. So we'll be building the market basket through spring of '25. Then we do the Kohl's space, because the market basket has to vacate, then Kohl's has to build. That will take about maybe 8 to 10 months. A little bit easier construction than a new market.
Does the 114 improvement project affect the entranceways at all?
I don't believe so. I haven't seen the exact plans. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen the exact plans. And the other thing that we should draw attention to, I know this is a Conservation Commission, but that entrance today is kind of a nightmare. And if you go to the entrance, there's a lot more, what would be the right word? Directing of traffic and islands to keep it more organized, so that there's a much longer queue. You don't have cars coming in from 5 different directions to get to the signal.
That's part of the fun.
It's coordinated a lot better.
Yeah.
Make it easier to get laundries, I'll be happy.
Thank you.
I have a question,
Sean?
just, I know you may say that you leave this up to the contractor, but, so this is a full-depth reclaim, and I'm just trying to envision, like, phased, or,
This will be.
I mean, like, what am I gonna look at when I step on site?
We're doing
when
almost
you
the
start
exact,
that?
we've done this in South Nashua. We just redid our entire parking lot in South Nashua. We redid, which Brian was involved with, the Danvers.
Danvers.
And we've also done one in Haverhill this past year. It's gonna be phased probably like 10 or 11, 12 phases. So, you know,
Okay.
Market Basket is the owner, and they're very concerned about their clientele. So, you know, we'll be doing small sections in front of the busier stores, and where we can, we'll do larger sections. But it's going to be quite an involved project
Patchwork.
to keep things moving. You know, once we get the contractor involved,
Yeah.
we can share phasing with the town.
Yeah, we'll probably have to
To let
condition
you know,
that.
but even then, things change on the fly. It will be an approximation, but, you know, weather permitting, maybe you can do things a little better. Maybe we do night work on certain areas, but it'll be quite involved.
But it's, would you say it's mostly driven by how you want your customers to be able to flow and park?
Exactly.
It's not necessarily what the contractor feels like doing?
Yeah, we would want to have, you know, available at any given time in front of our store. Obviously, Kohl's will close, which will help. But in front of our store, we probably want to have 200 to 300 spaces available at any given time.
Gotcha, okay.
Thank you. Sean?
We already went around.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So,
Moved.
you're going in front of the planning board. When do you want to come back here? You want 2 weeks, 4 weeks?
When is the next meeting?
The 24th of January?
24th of this month?
Yep. then
It all
after
really
that-
depends on when the peer review gets in, right?
I would wait, I think a month would be better.
Yeah,
Or the first meeting in
That
February.
would make sense. I would think that 2 weeks is probably too quick.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can,
We'd
It'll be
love to
too
be in
quick.
front of you as many times as possible, but I think a month would probably be reasonable.
we like the ratings, so,
I think a month would make a lot of sense.
Okay.
That hopefully we can get the comments in, address the comments, and have a formal response before we come back.
I'll move it.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, not unanimous.
Mr.
Thank you.
Menzie, if
Thank
I
you.
might ask, when you mentioned the riverfront, I'd love to have a little bit more clarity as to what you were referring to, because that's pretty far away from our store and on the opposite side of a lot of wetlands, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Well, that's
I
where,
just want
that's
to
where
make sure I
you guys
understand what
just,
you're asking.
it's where you guys did all that swale work, which came out really nice.
Yeah, the
Oh, like-
redo of the
like
culvert
here.
and the
Right.
swale.
So maybe,
You know, with
This
all the rain,
area.
we had a failure on that, and we've been working with Amy on that, and, you know, bad things happen
I'm
sometimes.
just always looking for enhancements to that river.
Yeah,
It needs all the help it can get.
I
495.
hear you, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
What I'm talking about.
There's woods and wetlands and all that. I'm not sure what we can, I don't want to make promises we can't do.
I wouldn't let you do that. I'll talk to Amy about it. and-
Okay.
And we'll-
Yeah, I'd love just have
we'll just get
a
some,
better direction.
some ideas. Okay.
Thank you.
Can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks. Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
You too.
Let's go. Shoot from the hip.
The enforcement of southbound ramp on 495.
Yep. We've got Keith Sullivan with us from Clean Harbors. We have the 120-day IRA status report. It basically
I'm recusing myself from.
Okay, thanks, Sean.
They,
It gives us a chronology of events thus far. Right now, they're at a standstill because the traffic management plan and what's the other, what do you call it? The
Highway access.
highway access permit is with DOT, and they may be like 30% review process by now. I don't know.
I don't want to be disrespectful to you, but, you know, this project is really pretty much out of our hands. I mean, the state's going to do what they want. We have no control of the weather now. Winter's here, so we can forget about that. So all I would ask you to do is just keep Amy updated, and she can update us, because we can't find you, we can't do anything. We just got to go with the flow. So not to take up your time and take up our time, just keep her updated on what's going on, and if we have questions, we'll funnel it to her to talk to you, because there's no sense in, we just rehash the same thing over and over again every time we come.
So they are monitoring after rain events, so I am getting those monitoring reports, which is good to know what's happening out
I
there.
think that right now, that's all we can ask for.
Yeah.
We don't expect
Right.
any, you know,
Right.
with the weather the way it is, we don't expect them working down that hill.
Right.
No. All right?
We'll be reasonable with you.
Okay. Appreciate that.
I
Do the
don't
best,
think.
do the best you can.
That's all we can do. I mean, it
DOT's
is-
kind of running the show.
In
In a
terms
way,
of the
in a way,
timeline,
in a
yeah.
time,
We
yeah.
can't ask you to do stuff that you can't do, and we can't, you know, so there's
Okay.
no sense in us rehashing this
All
over and
right.
over.
Thank you. Well, I'll stay in touch with Amy.
Yeah.
Great,
Please
Okay.
thank
do.
you.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Amy.
thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
I know.
What do you need for a motion on that, Amy? Anything? Nothing?
Nothing, I
It's
think,
nothing.
No, take no
you
action.
know,
Take no action?
take no action.
Okay, received.
Yep.
Okay, next one is 49 Court Street, and it's,
Oh, were you gonna say something?
yeah, but I want to tread carefully.
Well, so, you know, this is an enforcement order situation since June of 2022.
Do you have, an EO ready to go,
No,
based on your observations?
no, I do
They're
not.
under an EO, aren't they?
They're under a cease and desist.
Okay,
They're
so,
just sort of ignoring it.
so, what, based on,
I mean-
based on your observations, what are you asking for?
Well, I want to report to you
Yes.
that they're not using a wetland consultant to prepare their notice of intent. So that's an arduous drudgery because it's not complete. They tried to drop it off today. It's missing a whole bunch of stuff. I have to do a review that's going to give them a list of things that they need. So they may not even be ready for submittal tomorrow. I highly
Okay.
doubt it. In the meantime, they are doing work back at the rear of the house. There's an excavator there, there's a pile of soil, there's a new patio where there wasn't one. So I just want to report to you my observations, that's all. You know, I don't know how, if they're ignoring the existing cease and desist, I'm not sure how we get them to pay attention to it.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, because they're under a cease and desist, so we can't go to get them an enforcement order. We have a cease and desist now.
I mean, we could try fining, but,
And for some reason, it's been at least 4 months, 5 months since we asked for the NOI,
right.
and they were supposed to produce it today, right, today?
Oh, they were supposed to
last
produce
meeting.
it on the 30th of
Right.
November,
Of November.
so.
I think we've given as long as leash as we can.
Yes.
And then doing work under a cease and desist order is definitely a no-no.
Well, if I could, I mean, maybe ask a question here. I mean, typically, in a situation where we have an enforcement action, we ask the applicant to cease and desist, and we're concerned more with stabilization.
Right.
Okay, and so, and as I recall, I think this site was stabilized at one time.
Yeah.
Probably in 2023 sometime, and then, once it's stabilized, then we typically try to, look at an NOI to approve work that would be done, that we're happy with, that the applicant is happy with, and we move toward completion of the project. Now, there isn't an NOI, you said it's still being prepared, yet there is work being done. There's a patio being installed, and that means, it sounds to me like they're destabilizing the situation.
To some extent, on the top flat part. The slopes are still okay. There's a little bit of a pile of dirt on one side that should, get off of the top of the slope, but,
So it sounds like they're proceeding with NOI-type work.
yes.
Without an NOI.
All right.
Okay. What would we
Yeah.
typically do in that situation?
Well, the only thing that, I hate to do it, but the only time we ever get compliance out of anybody is if we start fines. And
I don't disagree with that.
And I think that, like I said, we've given this applicant a lot of flexibility.
Start finding them.
And then they make a commitment to us, and then they'll follow through. So, and then working under a cease and desist, all bets are off. So I think we should start finding them as of today. That would be my recommendation.
No argument here.
Until they, I'm sort of in a position of having to review a notice of intent that they are preparing, and I know full well it won't be ready tomorrow. So are you finding for lack of NOI or because they're doing work? And is there
Violating
any
this-
retro finding for work
Well, should
that
they-
has been done?
Maybe there needs to be a new enforcement order, an additional enforcement order,
How was the cease and
They already have a cease and desist.
The cease and desist was worded that they had a cease and desist until they produce an NOI by November 30th?
Yeah, for the December 13th meeting, they
Okay.
were supposed to be
So
on for that.
So we start finding for non-filing of the NOI on said date.
Yeah, well, I think it's two things. I think you start finding now until they get the NOI in and there's evidence that they have ceased and desist. Right?
Okay.
Just doing one of those two
So
things
they-
isn't gonna satisfy
Right.
us.
So they need to, demobilize construction equipment off the site,
Yes.
and if there's additional erosion controls at the top of the, the slope that need to be installed, and they need to do
Stabilize,
that.
yeah.
We should reorder them to stabilize.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
All right, so we're gonna reorder them to stabilize. We're gonna start fines today based on the non-filing of the NOI
And the work that's been going on,
And
and
the
the
work
lack of
that's
and
stabilization.
violating
that
the
they've
cease
done.
and desist.
Right.
and working under the cease and desist order.
Yep.
And then, so fines will continue until such time that a complete NOI is submitted,
And
and equipment is removed from the site,
the site stabilized.
and the site stables, okay.
Nice and simple. So
Yeah.
moved.
So are they separate fines? Are they $100 for the NOI and
I
$100?
don't know if we can do that. That would be
Well,
too
they're-
much.
No, let's,
No.
I think it's
Okay.
just keep it one.
All
Yeah,
right.
we can only find.
How about $50 for one and $50 for the other?
I think you can put it in any basket you want.
Yeah.
All we can do is,
So, yeah, I'm just saying,
Well, the key
these
is
things
those
could
fine-
happen at different times, so I'm like, oh, okay, well,
It's all or nothing.
it's all
Yeah,
or nothing.
Exactly. The fines don't stop until.
Okay, until all these things
Those
are
three
done.
contingencies are
Yeah.
complied with.
Okay, got it.
And they're saying that, and they come back saying that they can't get the NOI, the engineer in there because of the weather. They had plenty of opportunity.
Oh,
This has been going on since 2022,
Yeah.
June.
We've had some nice weather days between now and then.
All right, so we got we have a motion?
I moved it.
Sean moved it, I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that's unanimous.
I abstain, this predates me.
And last but not least, my favorite application.
So and we don't have to make a decision tonight about 40 Flagship, but I just wanted to get it back on the radar because we did approve a restoration plan that the impacted property is proposing and willing to undertake. And we're meanwhile finding the owner of 40 Flagship, the violator, for not doing a restoration plan. So I'm like, now it's kind of weird. So I don't know, do we, seize fines and then maybe take other actions against the violator to try to go for the fines that are there when he was supposed to have done a restoration plan, or?
we're talking about the owner of 40 Flagship?
Yes. I mean,
Aren't we finding him already?
Yeah.
Weren't
yeah,
there more than
but,
one?
and we're getting
That's what I was
nothing
gonna
out
roll,
of
Jack.
him.
Go ahead, you go.
No, but
I thought there was more than one impacted sites
Exactly.
downstream from
There's two other ones.
Yeah.
40 Flagship.
Yeah, so until
True.
those are all taken care
Yeah.
of, 40 Flagship keeps
Yeah.
getting fined.
so what?
Okay,
what-
all right.
what-
I mean,
What are you asking?
No, I just wanted to,
See,
All right, I'll
we-
just
we
continue
have-
on.
We have fines that are running on 40.
yes, yes.
So My concern about 40 Flagship is to the planning board. They have not revoked their special permit.
Right.
And we have asked in the past, recent past, for the planning board to revoke the special permit on the site. That site has to be completely neutralized.
Yeah.
Until that special permit is revoked, they still have the opportunity to come in and start work again, even though they'd need to come in front of us.
Right.
Okay, why don't we do it this way?
This is a night,
Well,
this is a,
Then why don't we do
So-
it this way? Why don't we generate a
Gene-
letter
Yep.
that the Conservation Board is sending to the Planning Board requesting that you suspend the special permit.
revoke.
Revoke
Revoke.
the special permit based on, and you know what the history is,
Yep.
and I want you to CC it to the town manager and the town attorney.
Okay.
Because especially, this could be severely exacerbated by the fact that the property is listed for sale.
I know.
So we have the potential problem of a new owner coming in. And
Right.
we're gonna hear that oops word,
Yeah.
and I hate
Oh,
it
no, I know.
when anybody says oops.
The other thing is that
And we lose all our leverage, too.
Right.
Oh, no, we wouldn't.
No, you
Right.
wouldn't.
We
Well,
wouldn't.
if it
It's a
gets
jurisdictional-
revoked,
it's-
we would have leverage.
Well, we have more than we
And-
have now.
Yes.
And it,
They still require an NOI.
Right.
They s-
yes, yes.
They still can't do,
Yes,
they can't move
right.
Blade One
Right.
without an NOI, but
Right.
it would be a lot easier if they don't have
Right.
the permit from planning.
Yes,
Got
And
it.
they don't have clean
And so
title
I
right now 'cause
recently
we-
found out
we've
that-
issued the fines and registered with registry of deeds.
I know.
I
know.
recently found out that their surety bond with the planning board has been canceled.
Of course it is.
So,
And they haven't paid
Which
it.
is why we want cash.
And they haven't
right,
been
and I
paying
can't
their taxes
imagine that
either.
that wouldn't be a big sticking point for the planning board's special permit, that
That's
we
a
don't
whole
have a
different
surety
subject, but
anymore,
because
and
this is-
so
no-
wouldn't that,
No board in this
Nullify.
town that requires performance bonds
Right.
should accept anything but cash.
Cash.
There shouldn't, surety bonds shouldn't even exist,
Right.
right.
because
So-
they're too easy to flush.
All right, so I'll write a letter to that effect. Do you guys want to vote to authorize me
So
to do
moved.
that?
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed,
All
and
right.
that's unanimous.
Okay.
Okay, this,
Can I ask a question?
sure.
Please, please approach the microphones.
You can either stand or sit, wherever you're comfortable.
So my name is Melinda Perone, and I live at 65 Meadowwood Road, so that's very close to that area. And so we walk that area quite frequently. So I wanted to ask about all the machinery and all of the equipment that's on that land.
It can't move.
It has to stay there?
It has to stay there.
They're under a cease and desist order from us, so they're not supposed to do
I
anything.
didn't even think there was any more equipment up there. Is there more, there's still equipment up there?
Yeah. But that's,
I know
that
I know
has been there.
I know they repossessed them.
And he's got some
They're
trucks
probably
and
leaving
stuff
it there so it
on
can't
the
get
access drive,
repossessed.
so
One already did.
so no one can get in.
No, but what I'm saying is, that the equipment is probably under a repossession. And the repossessor can't get there to get it. If he takes it home to his garage, they can repossess it. It's a brilliant move,
You
actually.
can repossess on site. They already took one already.
Well,
So that was my question. My question was, does the town, since the town has asked for a cease and desist, does the town own that
No.
equipment?
No.
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 not at all.
So it just stays there?
Well,
And I mean, if it's
We have a no-
deteriorating, or does that add to
we-
the problems?
well, if you're suggesting that the equipment is leaking diesel fuel or oil, then certainly that's not desired, but we have no evidence of that. We have no reason to suspect that.
Bless you.
Well, I just wanted to voice our concern as neighbors.
Yeah, no, I
appreciate
appreciate,
it.
I understand exactly what you're asking, because, but the thing is, we have that place posted, no trespassing, no activity, no nothing, so nobody's gonna try to, I don't think anybody's gonna try to do anything.
Unless they tore the signs down.
No,
No,
the signs
they're
are
still
up.
there.
Signs are up, so they're not, yeah, everything's gonna be frozen in time there,
Okay, thank you.
and thanks.
All right,
All right.
decision time. 242-1888, Boston Street. Come on.
Oh, so Brad, did you want to
What's that?
suggest a special condition for grading at the,
To direct, stormwater away from the travel lanes in the driveway. My concern right now is water's coming up to that driveway, and then you see that, what is that, 570, the contour that's in the driveway itself, I can't read
this
what
one?
that is.
72?
The flow line is
177.
right on the existing roadway. I've asked him to move that flow line back a little bit onto the property to match where it is on the ditch. That way water doesn't come up on the road and freeze there in the winter or
so
erode
keep
away.
keep it swale-like in the driveway so that it keeps moving this way instead of going,
You'd be better off putting a culvert in, as I said, but
Oh.
give me a swale across your driveway, that's fine too.
okay, so we're going to add that as a special condition.
Yeah, just don't push it into the road.
So should that be a plan tweak or something that, I feel like it should be a plan tweak.
Yeah.
We can't let a contractor just
No, I'd want a plan tweak and a note saying low point.
low point, okay. All right, so that's prior to construction. We'll maybe put it between 37 and 38,
Call it a plan refinement.
yeah.
Maybe at number 45, it said if dewatering is determined. I thought we told them that they had to have the dewatering said.
This is a fill site.
Huh?
This is a fill site.
Oh, it's a fill site?
I don't think they're, I mean, they're raising.
They're bringing in soil.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of,
So they're subject to our certificate of origin policy on
yes,
imported soil.
yes.
What
Yes.
condition is that again? 70-something?
It's number 60.
That's the one.
Yep.
I know, I can't.
Not very much.
Got it.
What do you think about the bond, Lou? Condition 38, $2,000.
I think that's
Too low?
ridiculous.
Okay,
Way low.
too low?
Way too low.
Okay,
This is a single-family house?
yeah.
So typically, a single-family house is anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000, depending on the
Okay.
amount of disturbance and the potential restoration.
This has a lot of grading and drainage.
How many square feet of exposure are we looking at?
Oh, it's the whole site.
So when you're looking at that much disturbance,
Yeah.
the performance bond should be commensurate.
Yep.
5, 6? What do you think?
I think we should go.
I think, personally, I think 5,000 would be fair.
Okay.
I would go with 6, but I'm not gonna pick about $1,000.
This is yours.
Well, yeah.
5?
Okay.
Any other questions?
So moved as amended.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that's unanimous.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that's unanimous.